Welcome to the Childcare Genius Podcast, the world's leading authority on childcare marketing, mindset, expansion, and profitability. Our host, Brian Duprey, is the world's most sought-after childcare coach, having helped tens of thousands of childcare owners from around the globe take their business to the next level. Let's welcome to the Childcare Genius Podcast, our host, Brian Duprey.
Hello, and thank you for tuning in to the Childcare Genius Marketing Podcast. I am your host, Brian Duprey. I am excited to be with you here today. It is 2025, and we're still early in the year, and we are continuing our series on talking about marketing. Today's topic is CRM systems. Why a CRM system is a must for your school. Now, you've heard me probably talk about it before. It's something that's very important to me. A CRM system was the first thing that really clicked for me as far as getting my school full with a full enrollment. You know, it was 8-9 years ago, maybe 10 years ago when I first met Chuck Gibbs at Childcare CRM. And he sold me a CRM system, which I thought was atrociously expensive. I'm cheap, remember? I like to be frugal. And I was like, boy, this is a lot of money. And I don't spend money lightly. I'm very tight. That's why I have a lot of money. I'm very tight with it. But I did recognize that this would be a really good investment. And through the years, I look back at the good investments I've made. The first good investment was a CRM system. My second good investment was an expensive, really good website, because that was 1,000 times better than that do-it-yourself crap one I had for many years that just didn't deliver. When I had a professional one done, you know, that I spent $10,000 on, which is a gobload of money to me, that website has made me $1 million at least back. This CRM system has probably made me $3 million, because I think a CRM system is just such a good return on investment. So if you're not full with a wait list and you do not have a CRM system, you are missing out. You are losing money hand over fist. Time to make a change. I'm not going to endorse one CRM system over another. There's several on the market today. Just make sure if you're a U.S. customer, make sure it's a U.S.-based CRM company and not a foreign company. Make sure it's U.S.-based. That's the only thing. If you're in Canada, U.S. or Canada-based, that would be perfectly fine as well. Just you want to be able to work with your own. They speak the same language, basically. The biggest mistake directors make in the tour process is to not follow up and not follow through. I've identified that as the biggest hole in the whole tour process. I wrote a whole book on it, The Art of the Tour. It's somewhere behind me here, right there, right there. So The Art of the Tour, wrote a whole book about the tour process. And the biggest hole in the tour process is the follow-up and the follow-through. And a CRM system can automate some of that process for you. So even if your director forgets to call the next day, at least you can automate some of that process by having emails or text messages go out on your behalf. Nothing better than a personal phone call, but this is something better. You could also set up a drip campaign where they're, once they inquire, do an inquiry, and they can get emails sent to them every single day until they enroll or die. That's my philosophy. I'm going to keep bugging them for 3 weeks, every single day, with inquiry emails about how good our business is, how good our teachers are, our meal programs, USDA food, all the things, all our unique selling points. I'm going to hit every single day with them. And I'm letting a system do it automatically. That's what a CRM system. It's like an auto attendant. It's answering the phone for you in a roundabout sort of way, but it's sending emails like a constant companion, constantly sending stuff out. Automatic triggers sets events in motion. So let's just say you complete a tour and it sends automatic thank yous. When somebody enrolls, maybe it sends a thank you then. Maybe it sends a birthday on their birthday. You could send an anniversary on their 1-year anniversary, like a thank yous. There's so many things a CRM system can do. Statistical data, that's probably one of the most important things, is the analytics behind it. You'll be able to know what your tour conversion rates are, your rates at which they don't enroll. So if say you have a 35% conversion rate, well, you have a 65% non-conversion rate. So it's good to know those rates. You could have, the inquiries to tour ratio. You could have the tour to enrollment ratio. Those numbers are important because you'll be able to, if you have multiple schools, find out which your best director, who your worst director is, and make training, have training accordingly based on if they're good or not. I can remember one time I had a director, and I won't tell you her name because you might be listening to this podcast, but I thought she was a great director. She's very black and white. But then when I looked at her CRM data, I'm like, she's not converting tours. She was very black and white as far as getting parents to pay their bill. Nobody was ever behind. Her steno run really, really well because there was no gray. It was all black and white. Well, when you're enrolling parents, sometimes you have to little bit of gray in there. So you have to be able to conform, have empathy. And this person had no empathy. They didn't have a gray scale. Everything was black or white. So if you didn't fit into, yes, I have a full-time enrollment and this is exactly what you need. If you didn't fit into that mold, she couldn't bend that mold at all. And I saw that in the data. So I had to replace her as far as the tour giver at that school because the numbers just didn't line up. She wasn't a tour converter because of her personality, but she was great with parents and great with getting people to follow rules and parents to drop off on time and get them to pay, and staff, they followed her around. She was Sarge, and she did it right. She was good. Just couldn't convert tours. So I just got somebody else in that as a tour converter that had empathy, that had gray, the scales of gray. So the data will give you that. That's what a CRM system can do, is don't assume just because somebody is good with parents that they're a great tour giver. Don't assume. Look at the data. All right. So again, we don't recommend one CRM over another. There's multiple ones out there. Just be sure, again, you get a US based company if you're a US based client. If you're a UK based client, get a UK based CRM system. It's just a much better. It converts much better, so you don't have to convert across the way. If you're in Australia, get an Australian based CRM system. And this is, again, Brian Duprey, and at childcaregenius.com. Go to the marketing tab, and if you want to call with me, go to inquire now and get on a phone call with me, and we could talk about a CRM system, the importance of it, the benefits of it. We could also talk about your marketing. I could do a free marketing analysis and see how your marketing shapes up compared to other schools in your area. And we could actually compete your money in competitors' pockets, your MCP, and see if we could help you pick up some of that money and put it in your own pocket. So again, thank you for tuning into the Child Care Genius Marketing Podcast. We're going to be back next Friday with an all new episode talking about my favorite subject, childcare marketing. Have a great rest of your day.
Thank you for listening to the Child Care Genius Podcast. If you enjoyed the show, please do us a favor and hit the subscribe button so you don't miss a future episode. Don't forget to visit our website at childcaregenius.com to see a list of services we offer to help grow your child care business. Until next time, thank you for being a part of the Child Care Genius community.